Hi there. Thank you for tuning in to Grow Your Gifts. Today's topic is Gardner's 7 types of intelligences. And you can look up, who that is and everything if you're curious or want more information. The first time I heard about this, 7 different types of intelligences from this, researcher, um, basically that's how I remember him, uh, is back in college in early childhood education. Uh, yeah, back in 2003. And it was another one of those topics or areas that I was like, yes, I knew it. I knew it all along. So it's, in general, from what I remember, how I understand it is, he classified 7 different type of intelligences. And yes, we have dominant ones, and but we're usually a combination of all of them. But you can see too with yourself and people around you that maybe you're more of a visual learner or more of a auditory learner, or you learn more kinesiology way, like through your body and through experience and muscle memory. And you can definitely tell with yourself like what's more dominant by the time you're an adult. And you can start noticing these as well in children. It's kind of cool when you say, oh, this child learns easiest and learns best this way. So let me try approaching this, by singing about it, or whatever it is that is more helpful for them. So I thought that was really awesome. I'm like, of course, we're all individual and unique, and uh, like a fingerprint, no two are alike. Like snowflakes, no two are alike. So we're always going to have uniqueness about us, but when I get together with a bunch of other visual and body learners, we click in a way that I don't click with other people. It's really cool. I mean, I don't agree with everything, obviously, but I think it's really cool that um, we kind of get each other in that sort of way. And our manner of communicating is like lightning fast, and it's like we have our own language sometimes. So, yeah, there's all types of ways we can classify. I'll get into that in a little bit. I'll just go right into the screenshot I took. So it turns out, I don't know how or when, but it's gone from 7 to 9, I think now. Just count it. Yes, 9. So I'll just go through them, and whatever comes to mind will come to mind. So, 1, spatial, visualizing the world in 3D. 2, naturalist, understanding living things and reading nature. 3, musical, discerning sounds, their pitch, tone, rhythm, and timbre. 4, quantifying things, making hypotheses, and proving them, logical, mathematical. Sorry, that was number 4 is logical, mathematical. Quantifying things, making hypotheses, and proving them. 5, existential, tackling the questions of why we live and why we die. 6, interpersonal, seeing people's feelings and motives. 7, bodily kinesthetic, coordinating your mind with your body. Linguistic. 8, finding the right words to express what you mean. And 9, intrapersonal, understanding yourself, what you feel, and what you want. I mean, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and that just reminds me of sort of Montessori and that type of early child care and that age group under 5 years old and younger. Like, they love to classify and quantify and group like things together and match things. Like, when you really get into the deep end of Montessori and you have the right materials, it's amazing to see these young children just like figure out things that way. Um, it's teaching them like basic math skills and so many other things, geometry, like things I never thought they could learn from just grouping things together like that. And then I observed that, humans in general love to do that. Like, what star sign are you? And are you a Libra or a Cancer or Capricorn or Leo or, you know? Um, and there's Western astrology and Vedic astrology. And I'm sure we've all done that quiz you take. Well, there's a basic one that just takes, a day in a workshop and you figure out if you're blue or orange or gold or green or something. Um, that's always fun. And then there's that latest one. It's like takes you 2 whole days to do the questionnaire. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but you're like, I am an IFT, whatever, interperson. I don't know the language, but we love to kind of quiz ourselves and put ourselves into categories. It's kind of cool in that way, and it really helps. But I was just thinking more and more, like, what does that mean even on a deeper level? What are we looking for? Is it just a much more thorough version of like a Cosmo quiz, from the magazines back in the day? Uh, I don't know. So I was like, okay, maybe it's like we all just looking for a fortune teller, a palm reader, that type of thing, mystic. And yeah, we like boxes, but you can't really put people into a box and just define them by their label. Labels help, diagnosis help, absolutely. They've saved lives. Um, but at the same time, we're multi-dimensional beings, in my opinion, having a multi-dimensional experience. There's lots of layers. So to me, what I was, going towards more is that, we all each have our own crystal ball. Ah, I see. So when you kind of tap into uh, what's going on with you and how you learn best, that's why I like this, 7 or 9 different types of intelligences. It just really gives a really good summary, and you can kind of say, oh, yeah, I learn best in these 3 or 4 dominant ways. And the other ones, I use those too all the time, but not as dominant as these 3 or 4. So that when I'm communicating with somebody, especially someone new or things like that, and right from the get-go, I can tell they're like, we're not getting each other, or even if, we just don't know each other, I right away say, I'm a visual learner and I learn through experience. And they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to throw her a lot of metaphors. I'm like, yes, I'm eating it up. I get it now. Thank you for drawing a visual picture for me. Oh my gosh, so much easier. And they can see that I'm connecting, and it's just such a smooth, efficient way of communicating. I love it. Um, or like, I let them know right away. Well, if I'm seeing someone actually shovel the driveway in an efficient and proper manner, then I know what that looks like. Something connects with me instantaneously, and then I'm like, oh, that's how easy it is. But otherwise, if you just throw me, on the driveway with a shovel for the first time, it's like, yeah, see you, Hema, in 4 hours, because I'm just like, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. But oh my gosh, when I saw this teenager from my window, like just zoom, 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 and he's like, I'm done. It's like less than 20 minutes having his hot cocoa. I was like, what? Okay, first of all, I'm waiting too long for the snow. I should go shovel it before it gets too heavy and do it more often. And then I can get into the zone, that motion, the efficiency, save my back and time and energy, all these things. But I didn't realize that that's how I learn the best. Yeah. Somehow it has to do with a crystal ball. I don't know. Uh, it's kind of like, once you tap into um, the way you operate more and the way you interact with the world around you, and get more in tune with that, then I feel you can kind of intuit as well. Well, if I make this choice, then this, and this will happen. If I make that choice, then this, and this will happen. So I think it's really so hard for me to put in words, but it's like a combination. When I go into these 7 different type of intelligences, it's just all this stuff comes flooding, and then I'm trying to say it in words. It's a tough one for me. Um, yeah, so I had something else. It's gone. Where did it go? Um, let's see. Yeah, can help you make choices based on what your personality is and what. Yeah. So what I was thinking is that we have innate gifts and passions and interests that other people don't have. Like I really have noticed and observed that even with the thousands of children I've worked with, that no two people are alike. So whatever your spark or whatever you want to call it is, whatever, and it's not just one thing, it's usually like a combination. And the more you keep kind of tapping into that, and how do I learn best, and these type of things, like another really cool classification kind of out there. It's like, yes, we have our 5 senses, and you can include the mind and the intuition in that too. Let's say we have 7. So then what I've learned to research as well is that, oh, we have astral senses too. So for some people, their spidey sense, or whatever you want to call it, goes off with a smell. It's like they have a superhuman astral type of smell, and it actually lets them know, like, danger, danger, Mr. Robinson, danger. It's that kind of almost like an intuitive sense going on. Or some people have it with their with sound, and they can pick up on certain things that other people are not picking up on, and that also kind of helps guide them or protect them or let them know, like, go this way or don't go that way. And some people have it with touch. Like if someone just even touches your shoulder, and you're like, no, 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 and you don't know why. Like, none of this makes sense to you, but something in you is like, meh. I didn't like that. The person seems great. They've been nothing but nice to me, but as soon as they touch me, something, you could say, psychically happened, or energetically, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I think we're all like transmitting and receiving, right? So I won't go in all the different senses. I'm sure you get it, that there is a gross body and there is a subtle body. And this is like ancient knowledge that, is pretty well known by now. And thanks to the World Wide Web, you can just start looking these things up and go deeper with it. What is the deep esoteric meaning of da 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 da? Or just even, I love images, because then you get a nice summary of what are the Hermetic principles or whatever you're looking up. What are Gardner's 7 intelligences, or what are Gardner's 9 intelligences? I'm not sure what it's called exactly, but or if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but there you have it. There's so many other ways, like numerology as well. It's kind of really cool, where every number has a corresponding letter. So, for example, I grew up with some awareness of numerology, and people would give me a nickname, and then, some family members like, well, that's not good, because your full name, as well as your first name, it all adds to number 4, and your birth date all adds to number 4. And if they're calling you by another name, that's not, you're missing the point. You want that good luck, you want that good energy, you want that. So I don't know if it's real, or I have no proof if it's real or not. But I think it's very interesting, and I'm sure we've all gotten that 1111 every time you look at the clock, or whatever number sequence, 222. So in 2024, that's very common as well. I get 420 a lot, not in a plant medicine way, but just 420. If you can see that as well, those those are great on the images. If you just look up the deep spiritual meaning of 420, and then they're so great summaries on that. And you just kind of pick out what resonates with you, and it's really all, take it with a grain of salt. It's more for fun. Even the deep meaning behind animals, I think, is very, very cool. Like, I had twice this happened to me, and I was going through 2 times like extremely transitory phases of my life. Like, it was like, hold on, this is gonna be a bumpy ride. So both of those times, it was like animal after animal after animal after and it was not just like, oh, that's a cute bunny. It was like, there's the bunny, and now there's like a dead bird in my driveway. Now there's like, it was just like, what is the animal kingdom trying to say to me? I don't know. Like, it really felt like something was trying to give me some guidance or comfort or something. So I was called. I don't know how I thought of this. I just did, and I looked it up, and I connected to the indigenous peoples of the land. So that's when I found they have spirit animals, and I am very ignorant about all of this. I don't know anything about it, but when I looked it up online, and I looked up spirit animal for that specific animal, oh my gosh, it was like ping, 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 ping. It all resonated with me, like pretty much all of the description, and that was pretty awesome, and insane at the same time. Like, over and over, that's happened, and it did give me a lot of comfort. So yeah, I definitely went off on a tangent and turned this into something else. But I mean, by now, if you've been watching my videos, you know that that's typical me. We will go to the deep end or go to the nonsense end, and usually lead you back to where you started. Yeah, it's always fun to also tune in and sort of feel it out and see where a certain topic will take you. And you never know, maybe it's helpful to someone. So that's why I do it. Get into the flow state as much as I can. Sometimes I love to use notes as well. But yeah, there's so much symbology, so much wisdom available to us, and that is the main essence of what I wanted to share today. And the more you understand your own language and the way that you communicate best, that you sort of translate the outside world best, and the more you keep using that and practicing that, I find that much easier and smoother your journey can become. I mean, there's always going to be hardships. Yeah, you can do it with almost anything. There's even tree symbology, all the trees around us. If a certain tree always comes up to you in terms of like, I love this tree, and you can see what is the deep esoteric meaning behind that tree, spiritual or whatever word you want to use. It's kind of cool and interesting like that. So that's it for today. Signing off, and I wish you well.